2020 was my first year of stacking and collecting precious metals. I started in November of 2019, but by January 1st of 2020, I only had a few ounces of silver to my name. All of my real accumulation took place in 2020. This year was quite the emotional roller coaster for stacking. I had specific goals in mind at the start of the year, and I invite you to see how it turned out. At the start of the year, my goal was to accumulate 1 ounce of silver per week. This would give me around 50 ounces of silver by year's end. At that time, I felt this was a really good amount of silver to have in case of emergencies. What happened next threw that goal out of the window. When the pandemic hit, I realized the economic impact would be something the world had never seen. So in March, I went all in on precious metals. This year made me learn a lot about precious metals. If you have not done so yet, I invite you to watch the video I made about what I learned this year. I will put a link to that video at the end of this one. So let's have a look at what I added to the stack and the collection this year. My silver is divided into two parts. My collection consists of items I do not intend to sell unless I have no other choice. I try to get one of each design of bullion, rounds, bars, and coins that I can get my hands on. So far, I have over 143 ounces of silver in my collection. Next we have circulation coins. Circulation coins are not necessarily something I like to stack. The reason for that is that it's very hard to resell in Canada. There seems to be no demand for it, and when you are able to sell it, it's very close to spot and sometimes under spot. So the only reason I would purchase this is if nothing else was available. I do have several of the designs for my collection, and I'm really glad I do, but in terms of my stack, I try to limit that as much as I can. So far I have about 55 ounces of silver in my constitutional or junk silver stack. Silver bars were my main focus when I started stacking. The reason for that is that they offer the best value in terms of how many ounces of silver you can get for each dollar. I was able to accumulate over 226 ounces of silver in the form of bars. So the bulk of my bullions are Canadian minted products, like the maple leaf for instance. But I do have bullions from all around the world, from the United States, Austria, Australia, South Africa. I will purchase pretty much any bullion available, I don't really mind, but here in Canada maple leafs are really popular, so that's often what's available on the secondary market. So during the year I was able to accumulate over 222 ounces of silver in the form of bullions. Then we have silver rounds. So when I started I preferred bars in terms of value, but rounds are pretty much the same. There's not a big difference in price between a bar and a round, and I do prefer the format of the round. Given the choice I would choose a round over a bar, but I pretty much purchase anything. Especially this year availability was really low, so often I had no choice but to purchase what was available. So far I have over 119 ounces of silver in the form of rounds. So if we add all of the silver together, including the collection and everything in my stack, right now I'm sitting at 756 ounces. I did have more than that. At some point I was over 800 ounces, but I did some trades for different other things like gold and platinum. So right now I'm sitting at 756. My goal next year would be to go over 1,000 ounces, but mostly would be for my collection. I think I have enough silver in my base stack where I don't want to add any more to it if I can. This might change depending on the market next year, but I'm expecting the price of silver to rise, and I don't want to purchase on the way up. Right now my plan is to keep it at that level in terms of the stack, and if I can pick up anything for my collection, I obviously will. So gold is a little bit different for me. When I started stacking, I had no interest in it. I was really in love with silver, and that's why I chose the name Silverholic, because I really love silver and wanted to stack as much as I could in terms of precious metals in the form of silver. But over time I realized that gold was a better value. It's a better edge against inflation. It's not as speculative. It's in terms of general performance over time it's better. And the only issue with gold was that it's so expensive, so I thought, well, I can't really afford it. Over time I realized that the premiums that you pay, you can get them back if you sell privately, so it's not as important. Like if you buy a tenth of an ounce of gold, you're going to pay about the same premiums as if you're purchasing 1 ounce of silver. So for very small pieces you're looking basically at the same premium as you would pay for silver, so it's not bad at all. Usually I purchase gold at very low premiums. In general it's in between 4 to 6% over spot. But during the pandemic, especially in spring, the premiums went really high because nothing was available anywhere. So I did pay some high premiums on some of the items I purchased. But overall, my premiums were really, really low, and even for pieces that would normally sell for high premiums. When the year ended, I was able to accumulate 8.5 ounces of gold. That's roughly the same value as what I have in silver. Technically, in 2021, silver should appreciate faster than gold. We're going to see how it goes because all of the suppression in the silver markets, it's really hard to predict. But I expect my silver to gain value faster. but I do intend to stack more gold in 2021. I really want to purchase a lot of 10th ounce instead of the normal silver I was able to purchase last year. So by the end of 2021, I expect that my gold stack will be bigger in terms of value than my silver stack. Also, I'd like to mention that the 100 gold piece challenge that was initiated by Inefficient Stacker really helped me stacking gold. I did purchase a lot more than I would have otherwise. I will have to make a video regarding this challenge. I haven't done so in quite a while. It's coming along slowly. I don't intend to rush it and try to purchase as much as I can. I always try to follow my budget and only spend what I can afford. So in terms of platinum, I have a very limited amount of it. I would have liked to purchase more, it's just that it's never available. So right now I'm sitting at 2.25 ounces of platinum. Next year, if I can find some, I will probably purchase some. If I feel that silver is peaking, I will probably trade some silver for platinum if I can. Palladium is taxable in Canada, so I cannot really purchase it from coin dealers. Right now I have 5 grams of it, and so that's only 0.16 ounce of palladium. I don't really expect to add any during the year, but if I do find some privately and I can purchase it without paying taxes, I will probably do it. Palladium is pretty amazing. When you look at the charts, it's always outperforming everything, except perhaps rhodium. So I think having some of it is a really good idea. But I will just have to see how it goes. Now, just a note regarding cryptocurrencies. I know many of you guys don't like them, and some do. Personally, I think it's a super speculative asset. Basically, I consider that gambling. I don't consider that stacking or wealth preservation or anything like that. So last summer, I purchased about $1,500 worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I sat on it for about, I would say, 2 to 3 months, but it wasn't moving at all. So finally what I decided to do was to sell most of it and purchase silver with it. So I sold all of my Bitcoins and only kept the Ethereum. The amount I purchased in terms of Ethereum was $250. And since the summer it quadrupled. So right now it's worth about $1,000. I just transferred it into Bitcoin because Bitcoin are going up faster than Ethereum, and I think it's more supported in terms of the market. But you know, it's, for me, as I said, it's a gamble. If I lose it, I lose it, and if it doubles or triples again, well, good. You know, it's not a huge amount, and I think it's since it's just a tiny part of my savings, I don't really mind it. I see it as going to the casino while the casinos are closed. So as I'm recording this, Bitcoin is on a roller coaster ride right now. It keeps going in between $32,000 and $39,000. The last time it did that, it really went up afterwards. So, you know, I hope it's going to go up again. If not, well, you know, I'm already at 4 times what I paid for it. So if I see it's crashing, I might sell it, or I might just keep it and hope it goes up again. I have no plans for it. I don't really care about it. So, you know, it might be something I can sell in a while and give myself a gift or something, purchase a new video card or something expensive using the profit I'm gonna make with it. And if it goes down, well, you know, it's not a large amount to lose. So if you haven't started purchasing Bitcoins or any of the cryptocurrencies, it's hard for me to give you advice because right now it's on a huge bubble, so it might keep going up or it might crash to zero. I have no idea really, and if you listen to Peter Schiff, he's going to tell you that it's going to go to zero because it makes no sense that it has this value right now, because intrinsically there's no value in Bitcoins. And if you listen to the Bitcoins pumpers. They're going to tell you that it's going to 100,000 or more. So those are the two camps. I tend to agree with Peter Schiff. I think that bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies are just a speculative asset with no real value. But the thing is there's so many people that believe in it that there is a market for it, and that's why it's going up. And also, one reason I believe that silver is not acting like it should right now is that most of the people who would normally put money into silver in a time like this are putting it into cryptocurrencies instead. So my view is, unless the government regulates it, or something really drastic happens in terms of the bank refusing to cash it or something like that, and that has started to happen in Britain, that might make it go to zero. So we'll have to see what happens, but in the meantime, I think there's a really big market for this asset, and just in terms of total value, it's now sitting at about half of the capitalization of gold, which is incredible. So the gold market is about $1.5 trillion, and right now the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency market is around $750 billion. It has increased in value like exponentially in the last few years. So until something changes, I think it's a good idea to put a little bit of money into it and try to ride the train and ride the bubble. So this is the final state of my stack at the end of 2020. I have not yet made a purchase in 2021, and I'm unlikely to make one until spring when I start working again. If you're interested in seeing the progress of my stacking, you can watch all of my videos I did this year. I pretty much show all of the purchases I made. I try to make at least a monthly video when I'm actively purchasing. I hope you enjoyed this video. These are always hard to make because you have to basically gather all of your stack at the same place to do the video, and then you have to spread it out over the table, remove them from tubes and all of that. So it's hours upon hours of work to do this. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to see future videos. And a like would also help a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Lastly, make sure to leave a comment so that you are entered for future giveaways. So as I said, I'm going to leave the link for the video I was talking about. I thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.